up, we have another session from two incredible co-founders. They grew a product out of a need in the same way that Luke and Sarah did. They experienced something in their own lived experience, their own life, that has formed something really special from a business perspective with their business partners, but also together through their friendship that they made in this incredible e-commerce community. So they're my friends, and I'm really excited to welcome them to stage. Please welcome them.
And I was dancing too.
Hello. Oh, it's on.
Can you hear us?
Hi. Okay, I really was expecting like 3 people to show up to our session this afternoon because I know everyone's recovering from the last couple of days, and we're looking forward to keeping it fast-paced and exciting for you. We do have some slides that I can't see.
There
oh, here we
it
go.
is.
Fabulous. So we, Carmel and I, are 2 co-founders of 5 in a new business called Staje, which is a women's supplements brand. And I love all of this chat that we've had, like we've been hearing from other founders as well, that to step away from Meta, because our whole launch strategy, which was only, it kicked off about 6-7 weeks ago really, was not Meta focused. And there were quite a few prongs to it. And really what we want to take you through today is a bit of a launch debrief. We don't want to like stand and be stiff in like a keynote. We wanted to debrief with some data and analytics on what worked, what didn't with the launch. And basically how we sold to a waitlist that absolutely had no idea what product we were launching, what the brand name was called, or anything like that. We were able to sell to a blind waitlist that converted on launch day, which is incredible. Yeah.
Let's get into it. So, what are we saying first?
The clicker's not working. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
We can just talk if we have to.
No.
Well, we had a really good video we wanted to show.
No, this one. Yeah, we do. Okay, so basically, for those of you who don't know Staje, it's a women's supplements brand. This is what it looks like. Yeah. Just to recap what I just said, we built a waitlist ahead of launch that was thousands strong, full of women who had never seen the packaging, never read the ingredients, didn't know the price, and they still converted on launch day.
And all of it, just to note, was from organic Instagram. So that's how we built the wait list. And I think it's a marketer's dream to be able to do this, and we are marketers. And it's a stark reminder that it's not always about selling the product when it comes to marketing. It's about selling a feeling, and that's what we did with this wait list.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 5 co-founders in the business. It's myself, Carmel, Anita, who you might know from Hero Packaging, Alex Boffa, who's one of the co-founders of Frank Body, which is a $100 million company. So he's got some runs on the board. And Jared as well, who's the co-founder of Welly. So we're all, juggling other businesses. We've done it before. And I'm a little bit biased, but this is probably one of my favorite launches I've ever worked on. Because there were so many great marketing brains on it, and also because it didn't rely on Meta. So to take it all back, how it all started was actually at a Humble Brags retreat. If you haven't heard of Humble Brags, I'm going to give it a plug because it's Carmel's business and it's amazing. Basically, she runs founders retreats all over Australia and soon to be the world. The next one's in New Zealand, which is amazing. This particular one was in the Whitsundays. 40 founders came together, and sponsors came on board for the retreat so that it was a free, like all expenses paid retreat for founders, which was incredible. Curated, hand-selected founders were in the room, and that is how we met Alex to start with. He was one of the speakers, and we got to talking about problems in the market, and it kind of went from there. Did you want to say anything else about the retreats?
No, I'm not going to plug the retreat.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
But yeah, so we met Alex. After that is really where the conversations happened. Alex and Jared had wives who were going through a particular stage in life that Jess, Anita, and myself could absolutely relate to. I think we've changed the slide as well. I'm going to click. So when we look at the industry, so the supplement industry, we know it's an amazing, thriving industry. It's a $100 billion industry that is continuing to grow. However, there were gaps, and that's when we were having these conversations, the gaps were the problems that weren't being solved. What is that? When you go on the shelves, You see generic vitamins. So yes, there are, vitamins that solve, there's postnatal vitamins, and I've been there before, and then you've got perimenopause. However, there wasn't a solution.
She pointed at me, but I'm not going through.
No, she's not perimenopause, absolutely not. We were going through a particular stage in life, and a lot of you can relate as, busy entrepreneurs and having to juggle many things at the one time, and there was no solution for that. Then from a marketing lens, the supplement bottle. We don't see anything on the shelf that you kind of want to showcase on your counter. I personally put all my vitamins at the back of my cupboard. They're not pretty, and then I forget to take them. So that was a glaring gap in the market as well.
I also just love making unsexy categories and unsexy products sexy.
Yes, number 2.
Yeah, so I have another business called Number 2, which is a toilet fragrance company. And it's the same thing. If you walk down the aisle in a supermarket and look at what else is on the market, there's so many ugly packages out there. I don't want to diss too much on competitors with the supplements, but packaging is really important. And same with Anita too. Of course, she runs Hero Packaging, so packaging is top of mind.
Yep. And it was really important for us that our supplements, you can feel something from day one when you take it. A lot of us have taken a lot of vitamins, and it takes a while to kick in, and you don't know what it's doing. And so to have really clinically active ingredients that work from the very beginning is something that we wanted to solve for. And then the disconnected brands. So supplement space, it's a woman's health. It's very sensitive. It's very important. And we felt like we could really come in here and form a community around it and have really deep conversations. And we love in-person community and events, and that's something that we wanted to bring to Staje.
I feel like we were having the conversations with girlfriends and stuff anyway around, just problems, health problems, stages in our lives, things we were coming up against. And we were having all of the conversations around the problem, but we weren't necessarily finding solutions that were out there. So this is what we launched with Staje. We launched with 2 hero products. One is called Confidence, one is called Clarity. Confidence is a supplement that boosts your metabolism and really curbs sugar cravings. That's my personal favorite. And then we have Clarity as well, which is for clearing brain fog and improving focus.
Yep.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to?
No.
Okay. Fab. All right. So let's get into the crux of it all and the launch and what worked and what didn't. Basically, this business became known affectionately as the secret business because so 3 of us in this business already had sort of profiles, I suppose, and communities on social media. And so we started teasing out the fact that we were working on a secret business almost a year ahead of when we actually launched, and it ramped up and got more and more frequent as the closer we got to the launch. And I think one of the reasons why we were able to do that and actually get people interested and get buy-in is because we built connection around the problem rather than selling the product. And you might know this case study from David Protein, and they did the same thing. Granted, they started with millions of dollars in funding, but they did the same thing. They built a 40,000 strong waitlist before they had a product, and they did $180 million in year 1, which is absolutely wild. We're not quite at 180 million, but that's all right. Still following the same playbook, and you can absolutely copy this as well. So for our launch, the 4 kind of pillars of this launch was number 1, a reality TV series that we launched on social media and slowly teased out. The second one was a big community event where we hired out a private cinema and screened the last 2 episodes of the reality TV series. This was all before sharing what we were even building and working on. Then we had sort of an influencer and investor strategy as well with a gifting arm. So we'll walk through each of these, but for anyone who hasn't seen any of the reality TV series episodes, this I think is episode 2.
Episode 2, so we haven't actually revealed what the product is. We're building us as characters and teasing that something is coming.
Hi.
It's red light.
Jared. You don't understand how much I hate you.
Nah, they just made fun of me.
I did.
I've never been part of something like this before.
The idea of creating a brand from the ground up.
We're all previous business owners. We know we're going to have moments where it feels impossible.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
My career has spanned fashion PR, marketing agency land. I run a software company. I was so exhausted It was chaotic and I was just running on fumes. I would describe it as absolutely cooked.
Turning 35, coming off the pill, my energy levels have decreased. It's just been really hard to stick to my regular habits. There are times where I have to miss important moments with my daughter because I'm running a business.
The multiple kids, multiple businesses, writing a book. I wasn't able to do each one of those things properly.
What my wife went through pregnancy and raising kids, it's been a massive year of change. Having 2 kids and trying to create a few new businesses at the same time, it creates a need to have proper routine.
My partner was clearly not who she once was. She almost felt like she'd lost her identity. I felt somewhat helpless.
We were all so excited that we were getting this opportunity to work with our best friends and amazing business owners.
Maybe 5 years ago I was looking to get into space.
I like being with 5 co-founders.
It's not been all smooth sailing, that's for sure.
For me, the biggest point of contention was we'd actually just placed purchase orders. The product, unfortunately, wasn't received overly well.
Guys, we have a massive problem.
I loved it, and I was so excited for Carmel and Jess to try it, and they tried it, and they hated it.
Carmel and I have both had a really weird reaction. Boys aren't going to be happy because they've already placed a PO. We have to talk about latest round of. There was a bit of tension there. That was the first test, I suppose, of our friendship.
I don't think we can do this separately. Like, I think you guys need to come to Sydney to get this sorted.
I was scared shitless.
Alrighty. So
Very dramatic.
I've watched that 10,000 times in the
word
editing.
for word.
So yeah, absolutely. So basically, as you can see from that video, that was the second one we released, but we haven't actually spoken about what it was we were working on yet. And so we sat down and, we were looking at how can we bring up conversations around the problem, create characters and buy-in, and that was really through storytelling. And then, further to that, we were looking around at what do we care about, like how, in other ways, how does this play out? And reality TV series is absolutely how that plays out. And so we wanted to create something really dramatic. So that was a really fun brief to Dwayne. So yeah, I think also asking yourself the question, like ahead of launch as well, why should people care? And seeing how you can build storytelling around that. Coastal Girl absolutely do a killer job of that as well. If you want to have a look at another example of a brand that's absolutely doing so well with that, Coastal Girl is definitely one to watch. So stage 2 of the launch was the
Event.
private event.
Yeah.
This is all you.
So I think, events have always been a big part of our strategy. You guys have all been talking about AI over the past few days, and out of all the brands that are going to win are the ones who are focusing on human connection and community. That's the way you're going to stand out. So it's very important to us. And it's very important that you talk about what's the outcome? What does success from an event look like? Because it's a high lift and often requires, a bit of budget. So ask yourself, what's the outcome? What does success look like from running an event for my brand? How do I want our customers and community to feel while they are there? You only get one chance to make them feel something. So really identify, how do you want to make them feel, and what are the details that are going to bring that out? And number 3, what do you want them to walk away feeling about the brand as well? So how are you showing your brand values at the event? So for this one, this was a community event. As Jess said, we hired out like a private theatre. It's called Hubert in Sydney. It was beautiful. We engaged the mailing list, so we gave away like maybe 20 free tickets to anyone who was on our mailing list. They were already watching our reality TV shows and they were hooked. So we were giving them a chance to come and watch the final 2 episodes at this live event.
I think people are nosy too. Like they wanted to know what it was that we were building, and so yeah.
We didn't have our physical product yet, so we just gave people a 1-week trial. We had
It arrived literally like the
capsules.
day before the event, so that was lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we gave them a 1-week trial of the event. We wanted people to feel like they were special. They were getting the first look. We care about community. We care about loyalty and loyal customers. So those are the ones that were going to get the first look. So the details that we executed to make them feel special were things like having security guards at the door and making everyone sign a fake NDA, because they were going to be the first people to hear about this before it went public. So everyone signed an NDA and they thought that was so cool.
Basically, just further to what you said, it's like getting the most juice from the squeeze, from every little thing, every little moment that you create within a launch. And so actually what happened when this event was going on is that Hubert had like a holding area. So when people come in, there was like an initial bar, and then the doors to the cinema didn't open until everyone had signed their NDA. So there was a lot of excited chatter and stuff happening outside, that we were also capturing content around and getting, the NDAs were like a fun, way to get people talking and go, oh my God, this is serious.
And even though we didn't have the bottles yet, we had little brand moments. Obviously, with Hero Packaging, we have an advantage there. We had beautiful popcorn boxes, we had coasters, and lots of nice little brand moments seeded throughout the entire event. And then access to the 5 of us co-founders. We got up after they watched the reality TV show that announced the product. We were all on stage talking about the product, getting amongst it, and really getting to know everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah. So this event was super community focused, and then a couple of weeks after that, we had our lunch on stage, which was basically another one of Carmel's amazing events. I think this is totally your superpower, is pulling together incredible events. I know in the WhatsApp group of the founders, she'd put in going like, I'm just going to book a harpist. Like, is that okay? We're like, okay, like, well, we trust you completely, and it was amazing. There was a soul singer and rapper that came along with the harpist, and it was like, what an iconic duo. So yeah, I'll let you take this one. We had the influencer and investor event.
Yeah, and this event had a completely different purpose and outcome as well. And we had this at a different stage of the funnel of this launch strategy. So the community event was pre-launch. By this stage, we've already launched the product and we're already live on the website. But this is just another touch point to increase sales. And funnily enough, this was our second biggest sales day after launch, because we had all of these amazing influencers, Jane Lou, Brittany Saunders, amazing people at the event posting about our product. They were posting the harpist. We wanted them to feel special and come into this amazing experience and this amazing event and go, oh, like Staje, okay, like I need to remember Staje. I want to get a photo with the Staje bottle. And they all did that, and they all posted about it, and we got instant sales from that.
Yeah. So good. I remember people emailing beforehand going, oh, will I be able to leave because I've got to pick the kids up from school or whatever? And we were like, yep, we went to lengths to organise a boat to be able to take people back if they needed to leave. And then no one wanted to leave at the end, which was awesome. Everyone hung around. Yeah. Okay, and then the very last prong to our launch campaign was gifting. This one is absolutely like ever evolving and consistent as part of our growth strategy, and this is with me at the moment. And something that I really wanted to do with this is kind of split out the list, so it wasn't just gifting out influencers and like spraying and praying. I came from a background in fashion PR, and I really didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be very intentional and very curated. And so I've created a spreadsheet that has 3 different tabs to it. One is experts, so clinicians, naturopaths, dietitians, nutritionists. We really want to have these more of these experts in our community and on board with Staje. The second one is content creators, so that we have a full funnel of UGC and content that we can use on our organic as well as paid. I've been using a platform called #gifted for that, which is pretty good. They have a tier that I think it's like $340 a month or something, that allows you to like have licensing and usage rights on any of the content that's created off gifted collabs, which is pretty incredible. Like if you get 2 pieces of content you want to run with licensing, it's worth it. So I'm doing that, and then the other part is like that influencer, people of influence tab. So that's what we've been doing, and that's definitely something that continues to evolve now that we finally have products in the country and we can get them off. So here are the 5 learnings that we've established from this launch and how you can steal these for your own. The first one is don't sleep on the teaser period. I love this, and something that I see happen so often is people sharing on Instagram stories like something is coming with the little like eyes emojis, and it's like drops tomorrow, and it's like there's no buy-in around that. Like, what is that? Yeah, people are curious, but you've lost the teaser period. Like, you actually have a huge opportunity to build up hype weeks and weeks, if not months even, ahead of the launch, that can really increase conversion on launch day and beyond. Yeah. And again, like Coastal Girl have totally nailed this. They involved the community in the development of their latest product, which was really, really clever. And yeah, sure, like, it meant there was weeks and weeks between, production, sampling, and the production run and everything. But by the time launch day rolled around, I think they sold out in like, a few hours, which is wild.
Especially if you're trying to move your customers away from being so dependent on discounts, a launch strategy is the next best thing after a sale period.
And again, you kind of have that one chance, so exactly. Use it.
Then the in real life wins connection. So this is kind of what we were talking about before. In this era of AI, having those real life moments are very, very important. And yeah, for us, like that is including events in your strategy, for example, or just continuing to engage your community.
We've set aside budget to actually have like a community event every single month, which will be it'll look slightly different. It'll be in a different city, and that's absolutely core to our strategy. So a few of the data and stats, which I think is quite interesting. 60% of the waitlist purchased on launch day, which is awesome.
Yeah. As we said before, the influencer event was our biggest sale day after the launch event, and that just shows if you nail your event strategy, you can see the direct ROI, which is often really hard from events. Because we had the community event and we made people trial the products rather than giving a full-size product at Hubert at those private screening, we had 100 customers who had already trialed the product, and that is, as you know, amazing for reviews. As soon as you launch, you already have reviews and testimonials and advocacy, which is brilliant. And also 50% of our customers are subscribers. So we launched straight away with subscriptions, and 50% is a very large metric. And we believe that that is because people have trialed the product beforehand. We already had that advocacy set up. So there's already a lot of trust in the results of the supplement.
Yeah. And this next one is like quite niche, and we've all, started businesses before, but this one caught us a little bit off guard and we were like, shit, I forgot about this, which was bloody deliverability with email. So this was a bit of a learning curve, and really just like sorting out all those, acronyms, SPF, DMARC, all that ahead of time, and like ways that you can do this and improve your deliverability, which you can do not just around launch, by the way, like the more domain authority and stuff you do as you grow, the better. But you can actually create strategies to improve your deliverability, even if you're like 5 years into business. But we had to absolutely do this at the start because we had no domain authority. And so our emails were landing in spam. They were, not getting delivered. So there were a few things that we did to stop that.
We had like an army of us and our family of friends who were constantly moving the email out of the promotion into inbox. We kept replying to our own emails until it landed in the inbox. We created a segment of just us because we are active subscribers, and we just were sending campaigns to us as a segment. But again, we forgot about this because it's been a while since we've launched businesses.
And like moving the email out of the promotions folder even, so that it's like signaling to Gmail and email providers that it's safe and should end up in the main inbox. The other thing we did actually with our email flows is we did things, we kind of structured it and crafted it in a way that we were asking for responses. So people were responding to the email, RSVPing to the event, for example, and then that really improved our deliverability. So like little things like that make a huge difference. And then I love this one, many moments. So again, getting the most possible juice from the squeeze. I love this launch because it wasn't just a one-day thing. It was staggered, moments with they were all trackable. So we could see the outcomes and benefits from each. And not every strategy or tactic or thing that we did was about driving sales. It was about building community and building that awareness and top of funnel and getting feedback and all of that kind of stuff that you do need to have if you're scaling a business. You can't just rely on, meta and like bottom of funnel tactics. So I really liked that this was staggered out and it didn't all happen on one day or even within 1 week. It happened over the course of quite a few weeks, and we could really track and see what was working, what was not, and then we can adjust our strategy going forward after that.
Connection is the moat. So, as we said before, when you're launching, whether it's a brand or a new product or a campaign, do the thing that doesn't scale, because that is what is connecting your customers to you. And every time you have a marketing meeting or you get together with your co-founders, you should be asking on a monthly basis, what are we doing to engage our community? What are we doing to make our customers feel something? And so for us, that's things like sending voice notes. So we reply to people in our DMs with voice notes, and that having people reply to emails. We are setting up monthly community events. So I think that's, one of the most important things for us.
Yeah, amazing. Well, if anyone wants 10% off, go for it with this QR code. We've got about 3 minutes left. If anyone had any questions, we thought we'd open up the floor. I think we're equipped to answer questions about marketing, definitely. If anyone's got any. Anyone? Everyone's shy. Okay, no worries. Well, thank you so much for having us, guys. Enjoy the rest of your retail fest.